Tilly.
Can you hand these out as well, please, sir? Can you hand these sandwiches out?
All right.
Allegiance Square Park. Rally, big rally. Come on.
All right. Let's get started. I want to take up too much of your time. Before we begin, feel free to come in a little bit closer just so we can see everyone. And you can hear the microphone. Everyone can hear it from way back there?
You're good, Nino.
Yep.
All right, easy. As you may or may not know, I am going to be running for the mayor of Los Santos. A lot of my campaign points going to be available on votenino.com. So any updates to it, all the details, they're all in there, and for you to read and understand what it's all about. Secondly, the official papers are in, and if you do know or do not know, there will be two mayors, one in Los Santos and one in Blaine County. Now, there's a good chance that if elected mayor, depending on how the Constitution looks this coming Wednesday, that's a lot of power that's going to go into a single entity's hands.
You want to know what else is going to be a lot of power?
Crazy.
The civilians when they vote for me.
What
So you guys are here to support Nino. That's so nice.
All right, well, thank you so much for Bobby and Carmine, who's come here with their amazing introduction. Before we begin, as to what I'm going to be doing, there is a massive pot of my 3 platform points. Number 1, transparency, and people having the right to have a say in all legislation that gets passed in Los Santos. Number 2, a Department of Commerce. And number 3, elevating the lawyers in the city to become our legislators.
No.
Now, I'm going to call up Eve Summers to talk a little bit about the Department of Commerce and what that means for all you individuals that are looking to become the next set of entrepreneurs in Los Santos. Eve?
Bobby?
Hey, great idea on this joint campaign with
Stop
Bobby.
fucking the ground.
You're a genius, Nino.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Hi,
Yo,
Eve.
we can hear you.
Hi. My name is Eve Summers. As you guys know, I did business back in the day, and as I came back to the city, I've been taking a back seat into seeing how the city would run, and as I've realized, there's not a lot to show for business right now, and I'm looking to head the Department of Commerce with Nino's campaign team. Well, not just the campaign team, when Nino's in office, looking to start up the Chamber of Commerce basically with business-minded people to see if we can make a better change. Because at the moment, the only, business there is to show is the people at the food court. And at the moment, they are basically the only foundation we have for business. And I'd really like to see more people have more opportunity to show what we can do as a city and as people who have dreams. And I would love the opportunity to do that and show that we can, in 7 months, make a better and lay more foundation that, the 2 terms past has done, and, have more places to go and see business thrive. So hopefully we can do that with us being elected.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And
Thank you.
that's it for now.
Thank you so much, Eve.
Yeah.
The people of Los Santos are always going to be looking for things to do, how to kind of progress their life. And a lot of that often is going to come down to being able to start a business, small, and grow it up. It's been very evident that the past administration spent more time ensuring that their friends and their family had their proposals passed, or those that may have jerked them off. The first thing we're going to do in the Department of Commerce is each and every proposal that will come through will be available for review by Eve Summers, by Ash Ketchup, alongside others that they're going to be bringing into the department, and every acceptance and every denial will come with a public statement as to why it was approved or why it was denied. So if any of you guys have been sitting there with a pending business proposal or were just rejected without cause, that's going to be replaced. Every proposal that goes into the queue will be available for anyone to review, minus the description so that IP doesn't leak. Even individuals that like Bobby might get real close up to you as if they want to kiss you right on the lips because they got
As
no
if they want
sense.
to kiss you with Republican spirit.
Now, Bobby, are you good?
Yeah, I'm just prepared. Whenever you
How about
say
this?
something,
I'm gonna give you a chance on the microphone. How about that?
I gotta
Just
wait for my theme music.
yeah,
Carmine has my
That's
theme
fine.
music.
Go stand over there. I want you to take. You see all these people? You're being inconsiderate. You want to be that guy?
I'll just wait for Carmine to get my
Okay.
theme music.
Thank you. Stand over there like a good little bitch.
All right. This little bitch is gonna win the election.
Not my vote.
Okay.
Nah, that shit is gangsta right there. I fucks with it.
All right. Sorry about that interruption. Like I said, there needs to be transparency with the whole business proposal program. Regardless of whether you wake up after the storm, before the storm, whether you happen to be around on one day or another, you need to have access to the people that are making those decisions, and you need to know why things are accepted, why it's denied.
You got my theme music ready?
And if it is denied, what the reasons are, and a avenue by which you can get not only legal help and advice, but a department that's there to support you all the way through. Now, I talked about this in the rally prior to Tsunami, but there's been a lot of questions as to whether Nino Chavez is going to end up being a dictator who's going to pass legislation that helps one party or another party, fucks the PD over or helps the PD over. Last time I checked, we were a democracy. And not even myself should have the authority to just pass and deny any piece of legislation that I feel needs to be one way or another. Which is why, from the very onset, every piece of legislation will be available for everyone to review the moment it officially enters the mayor's office. Legislation that can be written by the people and by your respective lawyers. Those lawyers will be given the tools and the help necessary to write things on your behalf. And then, in that same first week, will be the mayor. Under my administration, we will allow the entire public to vote for 6 select men and select women. The top 3 votes of which will help give their opinions on each piece of legislation, and another 3, the next 3, will be there in the event the first 3 go fuck off on vacation or whatever the hell it is. So if you're the police department, for example, and you want to make sure your legislation or things that you need is being done, you put your selectmen up. That eventually becomes your vote. If you're like a big organization and a big segment of Los Santos, you put your selectmen up. You put them up to vote. And what that does is you now have a representative that you voted for that gets to vote on the legislation in Los Santos. None of this like archaic dictatorship bullshit. So that whoever becomes the mayor in the future has a system that they can rely on. We got to fill the cracks so that folks like Bobby Charles in the future can become mayor and not destabilize the entire fucking city like the last administration did.
That's not true, guys. I'm gonna destabilize the police with my ideas.
The final thing I'm going to touch on, as this has been a very big topic amongst the police force, the future chief of police, and what my plans are around that. I've had a lot of one-on-one conversations with a number of officers, all of which have very differing opinions on things, which is good, is healthy. While I do not have my top 5 caught up just yet, and there's plenty of time for me to continue those conversations. But my vision on a future chief of police, if it becomes the decision of the mayor to make, is going to be one that is working for the people and the department. I don't want a chief of police that is not able to adapt to the environment, the laws that are changing, and one that is not considerate of you, the people, regardless of whether you're a felon or a non-felon. But I also want a chief of police that is not a pussy, and if faced against any form of terrorism in the future, is willing to pull out their fucking cock, be it a Class 2 firearm, and open fire if necessary. Now, I don't think that's an easy task, because a lot of people can say they're leaders, and a lot of people can
I'm a leader.
put on a hat that may say chief or whatever fucking rank they end up getting. But only few can actually hold up to that. Whatever that short list ends up becoming needs to fill those categorizations, and then I'm gonna let the PD decide based on that selection who it will be. I'd like to open up the floor for any questions. It can be whatever. Just kind of take one turn at a time. Just come up here, get on the microphone, ask your question, and don't worry too much about Bobby Charles. He doesn't bite. He just kind of
I have a question,
talks.
future mayor.
Uh,
I have a question, future mayor. Future mayor, I have a very... I
Marlo,
have a
come on up.
question. God fucking damn.
I think we should leave. I think we should leave.
What is or was your opinion on the debtors prison, and what's your plan to, solve that issue?
Yep.
With criminals going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt.
What are my thoughts on the debtors prison, and what is the resolution of that? There's a lot of lack of clarity right now until Wednesday as to who is going to be governing Bolingbrook. I assume it's going to fall under the DOJ as a federal space. That's my understanding. But and the question, I think, is how do you get out of debt? How do you turn your life around? And once you are a felon, and if you do find yourself doing something that financially ruins your life, you might be in a position where it feels like you can't crawl out. I think the solution to that is very simple. Right now, there's something like 6 state jobs available. They're not interesting. You go to G6, it's empty. There's no life there. There used to be life. You go down to sanitation. Is there any life down there? No, not anymore. Whether you are a fan of the sanitation union or were not a fan of the sanitation union, the reality is they brought life down there. You go up to, I've talked to the lumber union this morning, and the poor guys have to sit watching those expensive trees so some random ass motherfucker doesn't come and chop it down to build their own bullshit. I think the solution starts by bringing life back into those jobs and empowering them with more say. Not necessarily as a union, but doing things like taking G6 and giving them some funding so they might be able to, do some training and some security work, maybe down at Senior Buns, right? Or giving some of the sanitation guys a little bit more to do down there. Bring some more meaning. And then pump those jobs with enough money that if you do find yourself on the wrong side of the law, there's a interesting and enjoyable way to dig yourself out. Hope that answers your question, Marlo. Oh, that's on top of getting businesses up and going so you can make an alternative paycheck. All right. Who's up next? Any questions? Any officers? How about you by the bike on the right? With the shades. Come on. I'm sure you got a question.
Hey, give me a minute to cook one up.
Okay. All right. Cook one up.
Guys, help.
All right.
I got one.
Yeah, come on up. And then ma'am with the pink hair right afterwards.
Hello. Hello, Lieutenant McNulty, Shift 2. What's going on, everybody? How's today going? What's going on? Hi. Right, my question is, considering DOC is currently not a fucking thing, because they were all dipshits who blew up in their own face. What is
Okay,
your
says the
role?
one who got like fucking the government overthrown.
Bobby, if I need to
loser.
raise my fucking voice at you one more time for taking everyone's time up over here, we're gonna have some fucking problems.
Listen to your father there, Bobby, before you get a spanking, okay?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Bobby, you bitch.
What's your plans for DOC there, Nino?
Yep.
Right.
DOC was a fucking travesty. And I want to underline how bad it was. The bozos that used to be in office fired Bobby and Carmine, whether you agree with it or not, but then didn't alter the legislation until I brought it up a week ago. So for an entire month, legally speaking, Bobby and Carmine were the heads of DOC, but they were quote unquote fired. Unfortunately, the to do a little bit better is very easy. I'm going to pay attention to what's going on in the DOC and not just like wave my hand for like 5 minutes and then pretend it doesn't exist anymore. How DOC needs to operate, both for the sake of the police department and the sake of the people that are inside. And it cannot be ignored as just a place you throw people into and then whatever happens in there happens. In many ways, the way DOC was just kind of thrown towards these two incompetent fools, and then
Competent.
they were pulled out, and then DOC was ignored again, is not the way forward. But to fully answer your question there, Lieutenant, we have to wait till Wednesday to see who is going to be in charge of the DOC and if the mayor of Los Santos even has a say. And then I think at that point, I'll probably have a better answer for you. I hope that helps.
Lord, I appreciate it.
Yep. Ma'am? With the pink hair, you had your hand raised.
Excuse me. Hi, everyone. I just left my nails. How they look?
You go.
Can't hear you.
Speak up.
Thank you. The question is, so you know how like they made being horny on Twitter is illegal? When are you guys gonna make it legal again?
Yep.
That's the question. Yeah.
Half the
Is that about my
city
outfit?
knew that I banged my girlfriend in a bush in front of the PD pretty often. So I'm a big fan of the egg roll platter. Connoisseur, some would say. I know others might find it a little cringe. I think it's funny as fuck to be making other people feel uncomfortable. And I know that there's other people that have a very similar sense of humor to me. As long as, like, you know, never mind. You know, but obviously there's a line to things, and I think the solution isn't preventing people from, you know, being a little cringe on Twitter or whatever it is. I think there's more serious things that legislation needs to focus on instead of what currently is 50% of legislation that's complete bullshit. I'm gonna kind of segue a bit here. Is when picking your mayor, I think it's important to think about what did that individual do before becoming mayor. What has been their contribution? I know for many of you in the crowd, I've been representing you, whether it be recent or over the many years. But I want to say here today that my administration has a fingerprint on 3 pieces of legislation that did pass. 1, the FOIA process, which I was told was not needed, was not necessary. What that translated to is if Mr. Ray Romanoff here wanted a lawyer to look into, for example, something that he felt he was unfairly charged with, that the PD was not legally obligated to give him a single piece of paperwork. And then once the statute of limitation ended, he was fucked. The only alternative recourse was forcing something onto the docket, which just makes the docket longer, makes a headache for all the cops, to be honest. Like, why have to do that? The past administration didn't find that something that was needed, and we made sure that happened. You are now protected. You now can defend yourself. Your lawyers can actually do their job. Second piece, gun reform. And you'll be seeing that coming into play very soon. My office has been working with Justice Bailey for the past, I want to say, week and a half. And the third is getting common law published for the entire city to see. And so no matter what piece of legislation it is, it needs to constantly be worked on and constantly needs to be exercised and challenged. And not only the mayor's office, but also the lawyers and the people should have the ability to exercise it. I think for the longest time, I think many of you will blame the PD, or the PD will blame the people. But in the reality, the real problem has been the fucking law. When 80% of it is talking about whether you're a mime or not, whether or not you can egg roll platter, instead of fixing the fucking gaps that are claimed to be just gray areas, but in reality are the difference between a, one extreme and another, right? That entire gap needs to be closed. The law should make sense. Who's up next? Man in the white suit in the back. Do you have your hand raised? What about you, Harry? You're a business owner. You have any questions about your stall?
Business owner.
Ex.
Good, thank you.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Oh, ma'am, with the headphones on the right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arcadia Grayson. I'm just really curious about what you're going to be doing about transparency of information within the city. It's really easy for us all to point fingers at each other. Cops to point fingers at citizens or criminals, and citizens and criminals to do it the same for PD and high command members, but we still have like very little to no information about like civilian oversight committee or what they're doing. And another great example is that we have no information about when pay gets changed. Like, I believe PD is still getting paid a very significant amount right now, while I know a lot of us are having a difficult time just like doing towing and being able to eat. What do you want to do about information being accessible for the people?
Yep. That's a really good question. For those who missed it, votenino.com. We got a lot of stuff like very verbose in there as to what we plan on doing. There is no transparency without accessibility, which means that if information is difficult to get because you have to flag someone down, or you have to dig through like hidden fucking documentation, that's not transparency. Every piece of legislation should be available for public consumption. The state budget or the city budget should be available. One website, you go there, it's all available. Prices or pay change, that should be documented. Anybody should just be able to go to City Hall or go to a website. It's all there, and that is our plan. If it's not accessible, it's not transparent. It's as simple as that. And finally, when it comes to the pay stuff, our plan is that at the end of every month, there'll be a document that will take all that information and consolidate it. So you can pull it up and you see a visual diagram of like, is the per capita pay for lumber? Is the per capita pay for this? So you don't have to spend an hour looking through random shit to get very simple answers. So does that answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. Any other questions? Sir? on the left.
Alrighty. First off, I'm a big fan of the business stuff, especially the ease of approval or disapproval, the transparency in that. I want to think a little bit further ahead, though. Beyond the food service industry, how are you, your office, going to ensure that the business owners, the entrepreneurs, have the tools necessary to thrive in fields such as, like, you know, retail, entertainment services, and other businesses like that?
Okay. I used to run an investment company and used to fund a lot of small businesses like 10, 15 years ago. And the reality is a lot of time a business proposal will actually read, can construction please do this X, Y, and Z for me? Which is completely unrealistic. I think that's where the Department of Commerce is going to come into play to take the visions of entrepreneurs and set them on a path to be successful instead of living a dream of copium, which then turns into depression. I think that's going to be the biggest motivator, is that if someone's got a very like copium-esque dream that just is technically not feasible, they'll be put on a path to get something that is feasible. Secondly, when it comes to music, music and artists, I think music is interesting, but raise your hands if you've been to a concert for more than 30 minutes in the last 2 months. You see, music needs to evolve. And my plan with the Music and Artists Consortium is to elevate music to another level. So you're not just making music for your crew or like music that realistically no one's going to tune into, because the interest needs to be driven back to music, but for different reasons. Whether that means from like a competitive spirit or something more. And so that artists, whether they be like, you know, 3D artists or like, you know, they do ads or whatever, or whether it be like actual artists that like, you know, generate music, can have something more forward to look to instead of just putting something out there and hoping it makes music. So does that answer your question?
Sure does. Thank you, Nino.
All right. Anytime. Any other questions? All right. One last call here. Any other questions? Oh, wait. You thought you were going to think of one, right? Oh, yeah. Right over here. Sorry. I wasn't looking on my right.
Right, this guy.
I don't think I've spoken to you once. Anyways. My question is, what is a fundamental flaw you see within the PD, and how do you plan on fixing it if you are to be elected?
The biggest complaint that I've gotten from officers has been that they have been getting in trouble for not going to each and every dispatch call that's popping up. I think that's unhealthy, and I think is a root cause to many of the civilian complaints. I cannot imagine in a million years wanting to ever be an officer where I'm feeling like I got to go here, then here, then here, then here, and then here, and then feel like I've actually accomplished anything, because it's like you ever play one of those, like, you know, the little like Japanese like meditation game where you got the sand and you got to rake everything? It sounds to me like it'd be a fucking like endless endless fucking beach like down at that needs to be raked down. You're never going to be able to get to the end of it. So I would like to see encouragement by the future chief of police, will be help selected by the mayor's office, one that can get officers to kind of slow things down and not feel like they have to go to every call, but rather go to the priority ones where civilian lives are actually in danger, and in turn feel like if they are working a case, working a call, that they can see it to completion, so that they feel like they've got ample time once a call ends, that they can write their report and they're done. Right? They've done their thing, they're done. Right? No more have to, wait 3 days or whatever. They get their paragraphs in, whatever. But that also means pushing the DOJ to understand that if cops need to add more to a case that may end up in the docket, that they can without getting in trouble. Because that in and of itself is a problem, right? Officers feeling like they need to go and get their report in. Otherwise, they're going to get fucked in the ass in case, like, they get sued or whatever. So, I think that's the biggest problem.
Give me a name, brother.
I will never give you someone who comes to me in confidence with information and put them on blast. That's inappropriate and unprofessional.
Is it Duncan?
And I will not support any form of leadership that's going to bring down and punch downwards. Responsibility starts at the top. All right. Any other questions? I think I heard someone on the right.
I got a question.
Yeah. Let's start with Ray, and then the individual in the back right there with the purple.
Oh, come on, why not? Hey, can you guys hear me? Hey, is this thing on? Hey.
Yeah,
all right.
it's on.
All right, listen. I have a question. I love the website you came up with, Nino. I don't know who made it. If it was you or your team.
Yep.
Great website. Now, I see on your website... Let me hang this up. I see on your website that you have your team listed, right, of all the people. Is that finalized, or is that something that you plan on changing up eventually?
Yep. That's a great question. Great question.
We'll move on.
That's a fantastic question. This is the initial set of individuals. I want to make sure that the cabinet did not extend so much that there couldn't be a unified vision. And over time, that cabinet will be extended to include like medical representatives, as well as PD representative, so that the voices of the different sectors can speak on behalf of those that they represent. So if the hospital, for example, has to, has their concerns, has legislation they want to bring up, or wants to present their opinion on any legislation coming through, they have that ability. So yes, it will be expanded upon, but this is the team up until the election, and from there, we'll start expanding on a kind of need-be basis.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's great.
Yep.
Tilly in office, huh?
Yep. Sir, with the purple bandana, you had a question?
Yeah.
Pussy.
Let me see this shit.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Oh.
Wait, since you
All right,
did
yeah.
that.
So what's up? Now my question is to you is that do you think that musicians should be protected in lyrically and shit, even if now, for example, if they shit is very specific and lines up with stuff something that happened exactly maybe the day before. If I was to, for example, drop a track and be yo, I'm out here selling dope, load of drugs and shit. Got a trap house to sell my drugs out of and shit. Should I be prosecuted or not? What you think?
So what you're asking is pretty much like a First Amendment question, but in Los Santos, that's going to be Bill of Human Rights. Your speech is protected, but generally speaking, if you were in Liberty City, you could literally talk about a bunch of murders you've done. But if you are exposing things that actually took place and it lines up with evidence that's available, that song can end up landing you in jail. I think it happened to 6ix9ine and a bunch of other artists. So
Snitch.
You can say whatever you want.
Loser.
Yeah, 6ix9ine. Yeah, yeah. I mean, among other things. Not to mention, a lot of people have self-reported. What you put in your lyrics in and of itself, it would not be enough to press charges if that's what you're asking.
That's what's up. I'm about to drop out
I mean,
how to fucking
the thing
do
is,
all this shit.
if you're a real gangster, though, I mean, shouldn't you just spit that shit and say, who gives a fuck if you land up in prison? I mean, are you really
This
a
is
gangster
true. I
if
mean,
you're
yeah.
avoiding it all?
Out here copping charges that would look pretty cool on the record.
Yep, not wrong.
All right, appreciate you.
Yep. Any other questions? Going once. Going twice. Come up here if you got one. All right. I think we're done. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I am available in the yellow pages. So if you want to ask me something in private or you want me to meet like a smaller group of individuals, feel free to give me a ring. I'm always available. Thank you. All right.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Go to votenino.com if you do have a question that you wanted to ask, but you couldn't ask here, or just feel free to
introduce
call
the rest
me,
of the team
Nino.
real quick.
All
Archie.
right, guys. Well, I'm Archie Archer, Nino Chavez's campaign manager. To my left here, we have Abilene Contralto. And Abilene, you want to come here?
Sure.
Introduce
Hi,
yourself.
everyone. You may or may not know me. Abilene Contralto, attorney at law, and I'm going to be assisting the team in drafting legislation, among other things.
All
And
right.
that's really all I have to say right now.
We also have Archibald. You want to come up here? McRae. He's currently a legal aid.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Archibald McRae, as I said, legal aid, paralegal. Primarily, I am working for the campaign to do polling, information gathering, and a little bit of advisement here and there. I hope you all vote for Nino. Thank you very much.
All right.
And we also have Michael Razzle. You want to come up here? He is the wizard behind the website and all the graphical design you see for the team.
Thanks, Archie. I don't know who it was that gave me the compliment about the website, but I appreciate that. Michael Roselle. I do all the creative design on the campaign.
We also have Eve, who spoke earlier over there to the right. Kit Archer.
Yo, actually, hey, Kit, do you want to? You should introduce yourself, and if they have any questions directed at you, I think you'd be, they might want to hear from you as well.
Hi, everybody. I'm not going to stay up here and talk too long. I'm a little sick right now, but just wanted to say hello. My name's Kit Archer. A lot of you probably know me as a former officer in the LSPD. I'm now a lawyer, and I'll be working with Nino as his chief of staff. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask. We can definitely talk one-on-one. I'm always in the lemon list, so thank you very much.
And we also are working with Kit's sister, Tilly Winters, over there, who's handing out food and drinks.
Ooh, Tilly.
Yeah. Tilly's great. Right. Tilly's great.
Yeah. Tilly, do you want to say anything on the microphone? Now's your chance.
Come on, Tilly.
No, I
Hi,
couldn't say
Tilly.
anything. It's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah,
Yes,
you always want to get.
That's
Now's your
her.
opportunity. There's a bunch of people who would like to listen.
No,
Hey, come on, what are you, chicken?
Okay, for your campaign, you know you don't want me to.
No, come on, come up. All right. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time,
guys
ladies
for
and
coming.
gentlemen.
Thank you, everyone.
Let myself or Nino know if you need anything or have any questions.
VoteNino.com.
Why are you doing this to me?
Doing what? You had an opportunity to introduce yourself, and you're always like, what?
I'm not going to introduce myself. I'm going to call fucking Ray a bitch. What do you mean? What do you think?
Why?
I'm gonna go
Why
on the
are you
mic and say
fighting
because
with
I think Ray's
Ray?
a fucking bitch?
The here of all places. I'm yelling right now. Everyone can hear this.
No, I think Ray is a
Lovely weather,
bitch.
huh?
All right. All right.
Of course, if you want to, it's okay if you're
All right.
busy as well.
Listen.
Um,
What'd she do?
I was.
What didn't
did
she
you wanna
do is
come
the
up
question.
here?
You don't look at her.
What the fuck do you mean by the new
Wait, what the fuck does that mean?
I mean, listen, she's a problem child, you know, like between Kit and her, like
You're making it
all the
sound like you're
problems-
having a tough time. Like, oh my god.
What?
Right, are you...
What are you about to say right now, Nino?
That's... They... Jesus fucking Christ.
What do you think is going on?
Well, it's not what I think. It's what I know now.
What do you know?
You want to get with Tilly, but...
Oh, my Lord.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
What? You're gonna...
I'm dating Kit, man.
I know. So why you being... Like, why are you doing
crazy. No, I ain't into Tilly. She's just a problem child. She used to call Kid a bitch and shit. I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, they're sisters. What are you supposed...
Yeah,
they steal each other's clothes and shit.
Yeah, you know she could steal maybe a knife to the throat one day.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I can take care of it if you need me to, you know.
You're the best.
That's just... Hey, what's going on, Kate?
Even at a certain point, the kids wanted me to kill Tilly.
What?
Hey!
Hey,
What
Tilly.
are you guys talking
doing?
about?
How you doing?
I don't remember what it was about, but that is true.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think she was serious.
Yeah, of course she wasn't serious. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wait, what are you guys
Hey,
talking
Tilly,
about?
welcome to the party.
What are you guys talking about?
I think we're talking
The
about
weather.
the time that I considered ocean dumping you because you said something stupid, probably.
Oh.
You did.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you did. What?
Jesus.
So, Nino, your campaign is looking
you-
promising. Very promising. I can't wait to see how it
considered
goes.
ocean
Yeah,
dumping
it's
me?
it's gonna be interesting. I think
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Can I talk to you over here, kid?
I think my biggest challenge is I'm rather blunt, but I also rather not be a snake like some like past iterations. You know, tell someone I'm gonna give them the world when the reality isn't there. You know what I mean?
Oh, you can't give everyone the world. Just few specific people.
Oh
that
yeah,
help you get into
I'd rather
power.
be
I mean, that's
honest.
just the
You
way
know
the
what I'm
world
saying?
works, you know? Exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna make the world for you. You know what I mean? But when in reality you're gonna do some other thing, like you just wait 3 months and then not give it to them. Well, fuck that.
I don't understand what happened.
Smart man, right?
But it is what
That's
it
why
is.
you live with the person that
Oh
go like
yeah.
that.
Out now, at least, so we don't have to worry about them until once the next election actually
Well, yeah, I thought it went pretty good. I was expecting it to turn into a shit show. Once Bobby showed up, but I think it was.
Oh, you handled that extraordinarily well.
Yeah. Oh, I surprised myself as well. I did think like, okay, he's showing up right here. Let me just kind of embarrass him a little bit.
Yeah, and you fucking
punched you.
What do you mean you were gonna throw me in the fucking ocean,
You
kid?
did what?
I hit her.
You know what you could do back?
be a part of that conversation.
Throw me in the ocean. Is that what you're gonna say?
You work for the
fucking criminal.
police department, Tilly. Are you gonna throw your job away?
Well, what do you
shit,
mean?
You do. So you just assaulted a lawyer.
It's not
in
assault. That's
public.
my sister.
That's still assault. What kind of backwards, diluted law are you studying? You know you can assault your
have to
family,
say
right?
that? Oh my lord.
Why?
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Why?
Oh my, you know what? Nothing. Nothing. You know what?
Transparency. We are a transparent campaign.
Hey, that's right.
That's not transparency, Nino.
It is. You
Hey,
punched her in
any officer
public.
here-
What? You think
any
people can't see
officers-
their eyes don't work?
She's fine. Are you fine, kid?
Not really.
She's fine.
Oh my God, she's not even feeling well, Tilly. What the hell?
She's fine.
See this, Nino?
She was
I
gonna
don't-
throw me in the
Tilly,
ocean.
Tilly's assaulting your fellow
Did
people
I?
running for office with you.
You were thinking about it.
But did I?
Your
You
own
literally
office
just
member.
punched
You were
me.
mentally thinking about it. You were almost there.
And to be honest, if I were
This
you,
was
I mean,
like
look,
3
look at
months
Kit and
No,
look at
I
Tilly,
like-
You're the most
you know?
deadbeat boyfriend I've ever met in my entire life. Who the fuck do you think you are coming in here? Huh?
Oh shit.
Who are you talking to?
I haven't even heard from you in like 2 fucking weeks.
You talking to me?
They
Yeah.
asked me to kill you
I
once,
ain't.
Tilly.
What are you talking?
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck?
What the hell's your problem, right?
I didn't do
See,
it.
I
didn't
see
do it.
this is good. You know, a little bit of
Yeah.
like drama within, the cabinet means different opinions.
The only drama
right?
that Tilly and I have is that she keeps wearing my clothes.
This is my shirt.
There you go. Look at that.
Oh.
This is good.
No,
It's healthy.
it's your shirt because it's ugly.
Maybe we should have ocean dumped her like a month ago.
Or crash that helicopter.
All right. It's fine. It's fine. You guys.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Let me know, Kit, if you want me to do it again. I got you. Anyway, the weather is
No,
beautiful.
nobody's
Guys,
gonna
the
say
sun
anything.
is
You're not
out.
gonna.
Alright.
You're not
It's
gonna. You're
nice.
not gonna be like,
I mean,
no,
you
don't
just
do that. You're just
assaulted
gonna
kids in public.
awkwardly sit
I
there and say
mean-
nothing, Nino? Huh?
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised
What do you want me to
that you
say?
still have a job.
You're not gonna be like, nah, don't do that. You probably shouldn't do that. No,
You-
don't do that. You're just gonna fucking sit there, and you know.
Thing is,
Yeah,
speaking,
I'm
if
gonna
you call the
watch. I
cops
mean,
right
you
now-
two
What do you
assistants,
mean
it's
you're
not
gonna
my
watch?
business.
A violent felony.
And
I'm just saying.
like, like, I mean, this is like
that's someone else.
this is your personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to
You know.
comment on
I'm with
this?
Guys, we're gonna be working together. All right, let's calm
Wait.
Nino, what are you doing?
What?
Look what you did.
What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna fucking interject into their matters.
You know, you should go apologize. and
Nino.
Be nice to my sister.
See, this is why I picked you, Kit. You keep me straight. All right. God damn it.